Thanks, Coach. Originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready? 2, line 42. Check.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Get it.
On 2nd down, Minshew gets it to Meredith, complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 35.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And down inside the 15 he goes. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now Minshew. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
After the sack on first down, Minshew. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Let's go! Ready,
from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Check! Pilot, 64, weak.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Minshew. That one complete. He finds Sharp. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Hey, you. I'll go. 41's the mark. 41's the mark. Hey. Check 41. Tackles. Mike 41.
On 2nd and 9, Minshew. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Derrick Henry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. And the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready. 30 base. Mike 5-5. Hey, Foxtrot.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. You mentioned very very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Come on, set. 90, Wolf.
Okay, just like that. Just like
Go.
that.
Hey, Alpha.
41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning.
Throwing on 2nd down now, Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Bravo.
36, 36.
Two.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 8, read. Rock it. Hit it.
A first down carry for Henry. Uses the stiff arm. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hard. Get it.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and the Jags get to him as down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Josh Allen, he's the one that drops in this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He's not going to get me.
Minshew throwing on third down. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Switch it.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw it. Minshew. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Delta.
Mike 41. You got to wedge that, huh? You got nothing to run. You got nothing. 41.
Get it.
On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So we will not go into the lockers tied. We do have a leader in the clubhouse, so to speak.
Man, it's only 3 points. Doesn't seem like much, but it looms big the way that they got it done right before the half ended.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
Let's go, baby.
Ready.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
First down, Dolphins.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw. He's able to find Wallace. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 15. He's got this one complete to Perriman. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Check 15. Check 15.
Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a trunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
On 1st down, it's Henry, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And the Dolphin 1st down.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
2nd and 3. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll go again to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Hey, exit.
Out of the gun is Minshew. He's going to look deep for more. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Brings up second and 7 at the 35-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Open man is Higgins. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Let's get it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey, over.
2nd and 1. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
60 Pittsburgh. Get it.
He'll look to throw. He finds his man Johnson. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy. Maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put in.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They'll drop the throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Yeah.
To try again after the sack. Minshew, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Forced out to his left. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mike 41. We've got to wedge that, huh?
Oh, look at me. Zipper.
I smell fear in that offense.
Ready?
On fourth down, Minshew. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
You can't stop me.
Come on, set. 60 outlaw.
Here we go. Back.
Look, screen.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll run with Henry. Open space inside the 10. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Derrick Henry. His second touchdown on the season. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points. So they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for it. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey!
42. Hey, defense, let's go. Mike's 42. Mike's
Get it.
Now Minshew. He's going to air one out. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 23. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 26-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
22 jet bombers. Now.
Back to throw here. Going long here for Wallace. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. But the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Hey, we get it. Take 3, 218, chop.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. The 20. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. Huge, huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 38, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Dolphins, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.